Hey everybody, Chris here. Welcome on a Monday. Tough morning this morning. Not great news with more war going on in the world, and the markets responded to that. But there is hope, and we got some other nuggets to talk about. So we're going to talk about, of course, Dogecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and whatever other cryptos you guys want to talk about. You can put in the chat. If you're watching this on a video replay because you weren't here live, you can always leave a comment below because I do read those and will respond if you have any questions. But you should always check the live streams. You should be live Monday and Wednesday and Friday. I am live every week. And this week, well, we'll see how the week goes forward. But here we are looking at the chart, and of course, you see that white circle, and you know what that means. That means Chris bought some more crypto. That's right. We did buy. And it was not unexpected either. So let me get down into the corner here and let us see what is going on. Killuminati, how are you? Like I said, I converted all my XRP to Doge when it hit 565 LOL. I think you will not regret that move, especially at that price. What you're going to see, the percentage of gains between Doge and XRP, I think that Doge is going to have a higher percentage return. Mars, put in your DCA for the week. Very good with Doge. Hopefully we hold here. If not, DCA some more. Like that attitude. Jason says, buy the dip. Dano, how are you? Million token broke out of an over year-long falling wedge. I am not holding Million because my MetaMask wallet got hacked and all my Million's gone, and I am not buying back in. Tech Lead doesn't support it anymore. That's the reason I bought it in the first place, was because of Tech Lead. And as soon as he pretty much abandoned it, I just didn't see the need to buy back in. Good luck with your Million, though. I hope you do well with it. Personally, I don't think I don't think it has much of a future. It is going to do some ups and downs, but long term, I don't think so. But good luck with that. I did see a notification. I still have it as a favorite, and I did see a notification on Million token that came up on CMC. Yeah. $1.83 was this morning. I don't know where it is now, but anyway, good luck with it. SEC says the only Million Chris is holding is the number of Doge. That's right. Down a little bit on the most recent Doge purchases, still in the green on my overall Doge portfolio. So that's good. And also the Doge that I bought this morning for our Chris Pack's DCA portfolio, as well as some for myself. But we now have all of the $10,000 has now been invested. Our Chris Pack's DCA portfolio is now full. And with that, we have a little over 75,000 Dogecoin is in our portfolio after buying. How many did we buy this morning? Let's see what that price was. Because I log it all here. We bought at 5,885. We bought 14,000 Dogecoin this morning. So that finishes off the portfolio, and the Dogecoin is 46.8% of the overall portfolio is Doge. And our average Doge price is right here at 6.17. So that brought it down from 6.24 to 6.17. So that's our average now. Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin with a 26,900 average price, we are in the green on Bitcoin by about 2.3%, but we're even more in the green on Render. Look at our Render. It's up 22%. Render holding strong. Glad we bought some in there. Wish we would have bought more, but you only do what you do, right? but I've got some other render in my personal portfolio that is doing well as well. But overall, we will be watching this overall portfolio as it makes its march back to 10,000 and then over. And as it is over and we have more and more profit, eventually that is going to be the profit that I'm going to share with you guys in our portfolio. So 75,000 Doge, I think that's going to do very well at a 6.17 average price. So we will be checking in on that on every live stream and seeing how things are going. Overall, guys, if you remember a week ago, Monday a week ago, we were sitting right here. We had just seen a run up to about 6.4 and then a retrace back, and we were live. And I put a poll, remember? I put a poll in the chat, and I said, bearish or bullish? And I drew these two lines. I drew this white line that this would be the bullish move, and I drew this red line, and I said this would be the bearish move. And this was at this time a week ago. If you remember from the poll, 85% of you said bullish. 85% said bullish. I like the optimism, absolutely. Love the optimism. But if you recall, I said I'm feeling a little bearish. And I also said that I was keeping dry powder in not only the Kriss portfolio, but my own portfolio, because I thought there was going to be another dip. And I was thinking it was going to be around October 10th, according to this. And I only missed it by a day. So not a bad prediction. Again, you guys watch me because I'm more a realist, right? Not because I'm always doing, the rockets to the moon, Dogecoin to the moon, all of that. It's a more realistic look at things that are going on. Of course, couldn't have predicted that Israel was going to be in a war, but things happen. And things happen in the world, and crypto responds. Interestingly enough, though, this morning, when we saw everything down, it recovered. I mean, look at the Bitcoin price. Bitcoin price initially dropped here to 27.4. It had a second drop down to 27.2, and then it recovered back up. So that's not bad. That recovery shows some sign of strength. Not only did we have that recovery in crypto this afternoon, but in the stock market too. The stock market trading was in the red this morning and then ended up in the green for both the S&P 500, the Dow, and the NASDAQ. All ended up in the green. And for those of you who are AMC apes and you had your AMC stock, like I did, AMC did great today. So looking at all of that, you're like, okay, we do have, fighting going on. It doesn't look good. We still have this weighing pressure of recession. It could be on the horizon. We still have high interest rates, right? We still have inflation going on. But the markets, forward thinking like they are thinking we're going to be okay. So in the end, I'm saying we're going to be okay. And I've got a couple little news articles to show you to be patient, And I know there's some of you, especially you, executor, who says crypto's in trouble. And for those that don't know, executor here, he is the local bear and has been consistently for a couple of years. And you haven't been wrong. You haven't been wrong overall. Because especially with Doge is sitting at a low point. However, where are you going to be next year when Doge is going up? Are you going to turn bullish or you're going to remain bearish? That's what I want to know. But I'm expecting you're going to remain somewhat bullish. But we'll see how that plays out. And Jason says, yeah, way to go, Israel, messing up the market again. It's always something, though. It's always something. Kumro Games says, a nice Doge sale today. JS asking, is it time to buy? I don't know, still bullish long-term. Yes, and we're going to be talking about long-term in just a couple minutes. We will get there. Just a couple minutes. And Dano, yeah, sorry to hear MetaMask. I think million will surprise people. Here for Doge today. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So what we have, cryptocurrency price today, Israel-Hamas war paints the market red. BTC remains under 28K because BT was pushing to get back up over that 28K line. We had that here on the chart. Here's Bitcoin. Here in blue is the 28. We were knocking on it over the weekend. Couldn't quite break it. And then, of course, it broke down. So as Bitcoin trades back up, is it going to be knocking on the door again at 28 or not? We shall see. But overall, yes, cryptocurrency in the red today. Then we also had Ethereum. Last night, the Ethereum Foundation sold $2.7 million in ETH. $2.7 million in ETH, the Ethereum Foundation. And that was before the crypto markets went down. Now, I think that part of this sale may have accelerated the markets going down a bit because ETH did a sort of an earlier downtick right there. And yeah, it was about that time when the foundation sold, which might have accelerated the downfall a little bit. And then when ETH did its second dump here at noontime, it dropped pretty far down to 1550. So that means, of course, that the ETH BTC pair is way down, which keeps Ben Cowan happy because he's predicted that ETH BTC breakdown for quite some time. And if you've been watching Ben into the cryptoverse, you know that he's got this chart which just shows ETH continuing to bleed out against Bitcoin, with Bitcoin's dominance continuing to go up. Here's the Bitcoin dominance chart for those curious, 51.3% now. And a lot of this is due to ETH sell-off, but also other alts as well, dropping more percentage-wise today than Bitcoin. So right now, Bitcoin is down 1.3%, but ETH is 3.5, Algorand 4.7, Solana down over 5% today, ADA down 2%. So Solana is even bleeding against ADA, which is kind of interesting to see. And since I swapped all my Solana tokens for ADA, I would like to see ADA go up a little more, just to prove that that swap was working for me. So that was tough for Ethereum, but for Doge, Doge down more than 3% in 24 hours. Yes, we saw that big dump in price and volatility. That means that there was this uptick here in volume, and with that uptick in volume, what do you see? You see the price movement. We were talking last week about more volatility happening right during the week. The weekend was pretty quiet. You'll see right here, right above me, these volume indicators. Just like no volume on Sunday. There was no volume at all. And then boom, huge volume upticks. So with that was the price falling. With that price falling, what we have now for Dogecoin is a break of the 6-cent mark. We had been talking before, and I'll go back to the daily. We've been talking about how Dogecoin has consistently, every time it broke 6 cents, it traded right back up. And it did that 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And for those 4 times, that means that buying at that 5.9 to 5.95 cent level always brought Dogecoin back up over 6 cents. And it did it in June, and it did it again in August, and in September, and then right at the end of September, same thing. Because there was a lot of buying pressure at that range, 5.9, 5.95. However, and what I said last week after it happened that time, I said that buying pressure may be weakening and that we could have another dip go below 6 cents where we could see Dogecoin drop even further because that buying pressure will not be there as much. And that's what we're seeing now because Dogecoin is now trading sideways down in this 587, 588 range instead of coming right back up over 6 cents. So I know a lot of you are buying, picking up what you can here, DCAing. Personally, I did the same. I bought right here for myself as well as for our Kriss Pax portfolio. Bought right here at this level. And again, I've got a couple articles to show you in a minute to show you why buying here is a good idea. Again, not financial advice, but I'm telling you what I'm doing, right? And I know some of you are telling in the chat over here that you're buying as well. Jason says, anything below 5.9 cents is a steal. Right. We could see further dips. We could see it come down. 5.7, 5.6, maybe even 5.5. If you remember, we were looking at a website last week called Changely. And that Changely was predicting by middle of October, 5.5 cent Dogecoin. And some of you in the chat were saying, no way. Well, now, we could see that. But again, that's a short-term prediction. Short-term prediction. If we zoom out and we look at the long-term prediction, particularly on the Bitcoin side, things aren't looking so bad. I know Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. It's a risky asset. So only invest what you're willing to risk. But be careful. Just be careful. Hey, Shabam, how are you? You didn't like my thumbnail for this one? I thought it was pretty good. Had the backdrop of the war, had the Doge with the tears in the eyes. That's pretty tough. With the question, is crypto and Dogecoin in trouble? We're getting to that in just a minute. I don't need any help though, but thank you for asking. Dogecoin receives a very bearish rating on Monday. Yes, we check in Investors Observer, and now on the bear to bull range, it has come all the way over to the bear side because the bears are out in full force today. With a big drop like that, you can't really have anything else like that. So that is not unexpected that I would see this from Investors Observer for Dogecoin. Dogecoin down here on the bearish side. So we have that. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin decline amid Israel-Hamas conflict. However, there's an analyst that predicts the king crypto, Bitcoin, will reach 30K, even as worldwide uncertainty grows. Because what happens with Bitcoin, right? We have world currencies that end up getting in trouble. And Bitcoin, as a digital currency that has no individual country associated with it, is being seen more and more as a safe haven. Isn't that something? A cryptocurrency is now being seen more as a safe haven. That is what this prediction back up to 30K is saying, despite all of these headwinds, all of these challenges going on. War around the world, again, high inflation, high interest rates, recession. Some countries already in a recession. I think the United States has already been in a recession, recessionary, I say. I think part of that was the Biden administration like tapping into the oil reserves in order to keep gas prices low. So he could basically say, it's in the politics, right? But he could basically say that, oh, the United States is not in a recession on my watch. And now we're having this Iran conflict, right, tied in with Israel. And we could see oil prices going up. And guess what? We've already dumped in the United States, or we've tapped into like half of our reserves. Not good, not good. But Bitcoin could be seen as it could be seen as a place of stability. The global crypto market cap still over $1 trillion, even despite the recent decrease. Bitcoin could be okay. So that's what we've got on the macro side. Carnell, how are you? Do you think Dogecoin should make investors hold for 6 months? Let it be used as a transaction. After all, Dogecoin was created to be spent and used, right? And that is true. And that is what is great about Dogecoin, but it also is an investment at the same time. So it's like half and half, in my opinion. I mean, I still spend it. I spend it when I can. I buy movie tickets through AMC. Every time I go to an AMC movie, I spend Dogecoin, even Dogecoin at 6 cents. And I just buy more Dogecoin. You buy on the dips. That's what I do. But we're going to look out a little further. First, a couple fun things. Elon Musk supports Billy Marcus's thesis, and that was that crypto has no innate or inherent value, the SEC argues in a Coinbase case. They're seeking to request a summary judgment to be dismissed that was pro Coinbase. And Billy says, then return all the taxes y'all made me pay for receiving it. You horrific, evil hypocrites, he says. So it's like, it's kind of interesting, right? If the US government doesn't like crypto, right, and says it has no innate value, we're still taxed on it. We're still taxed on it. And what does Elon say to that? Well, Elon says it's real if you have to pay taxes, but otherwise not real? What? It's kind of an interesting thought there. It's like, so what is it, US government? What do you think it is? You just want your taxes. So, all right, long term. We'll start with Dogecoin. Crypto millionaire Victor Schlampa makes bold Dogecoin price target. What do you think that bold price target is? Again, thinking about the 4-year cycles. We've talked about the 4-year cycles. We'll get CZ's take on it in a minute. But those 4-year cycles are going to show that we're going to hit all-time highs again, most likely in 2025. Here's the 4-year cycle chart for those who hadn't seen it. Bring that over here. So here we are, 2020. We had the last halving. That was the 3rd cycle in Bitcoin. And that's when the last bull market started in 2020. We had a double top all-time high in 2021. And then we had the bear market in 2022. 2023 is the question mark of the reset year. Where is it going to end up? How is that year going to go? And that's kind of what we were looking at, was it could be more like what happened in 2015, where in that reset year, it kind of went up and down. Or in 2019, where Bitcoin went up early in the year and then bled out in the last half of the year. That looks like more of what Bitcoin is doing now. Because Bitcoin went up over 30K and now is down to 27. And we could see it go even lower to 25. But that was 2019. What happened in 2020, the year of the halving? We had the halving. We had an other little dip there, kind of a big dip that happened, that whole C19 thing. But then it took off. If the 4-year cycles hold true, then we'll see the next halving in 2024. That's going to be the 4th cycle for Bitcoin. And then we're going to see potentially all-time highs again in 2025. Dogecoin could do that same thing, following Bitcoin. Regardless of anything else that happens, we could see that. However, Dogecoin has its own catalysts that can propel it up, like we saw back in 2021. If SpaceX has the Doge 1 mission, which some are still thinking is going to be in November, I haven't read anything about it or heard anything about it other than these third-party accounts. So not sure whether it's really happening. Typically, when Elon Musk says something is going to happen, it eventually happens. Doesn't always go on his initial timeline. He's already a year behind, but it eventually happens. And that Doge 1 mission will be huge for Dogecoin, huge catalyst. We have Tesla. Will Tesla begin to accept Bitcoin payments for cars again? That would be huge for Bitcoin and the whole crypto industry. For that acceptance of Bitcoin for payments for cars, if Tesla does that again. It was supposed to be once the energy use was 50%, whether there was a 50% using, what is it called? Sort of like the renewable energy sources, of which there have been many articles that have been posted over the past few months and aimed right at Elon on X Twitter, saying, Elon, you should see this, that it's now confirmed that the mining of Bitcoin, over 50% of it is using renewable energy sources. So Elon said, once that happens, he will again accept Bitcoin as payment for Tesla cars. But what if he also accepts Dogecoin? Boom. That would be huge for Doge. And then on top of that, we have X Twitter itself. So X Twitter itself, if Dogecoin gets integrated into X Twitter as payment in any manner, that's a third catalyst. Huge catalyst for Doge. Any one of those will cause Dogecoin to spike outside of whatever Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market is doing. You get 2 of those, you get 2 big spikes. You get 3 of them to the moon. And this guy is saying Dogecoin to $1, and eventually in 10 years, his prediction is $10 Dogecoin. $10 Dogecoin in the next 10 years. Because that would be pretty much doing the whole crypto market going up big time, is what that is. The whole crypto market taking off. And Dogecoin having its own catalysts, which take it even higher. $10 Dogecoin. Now, for me, I'm saying, look, $1 Dogecoin would be awesome. Here, if we look at the top cryptocurrencies by market cap, and we have Dogecoin, we have 141 billion Dogecoin. Right now, Dogecoin's current market cap is 8.3 billion. Dogecoin goes to $1, that's $141 billion market cap for Doge, which puts it right here in third place. We've got Bitcoin, we've got Ethereum, we've got Dogecoin. Bitcoin's the store of value, Ethereum, smart contracts, Dogecoin as currency. For the Doge 1 mission, for Tesla cars, on X, Twitter, and who knows what will grow from that. All of that will be huge. We could see Dogecoin back up here. And Dogecoin at $1. And it's not a crazy idea, knowing that Bitcoin would still be number 1, Ethereum would still be number 2. And that would be Dogecoin going up to this level without them even moving, which we know they're all eventually going to move back up. Now, Dogecoin $10 per coin over 10 years, that's out there. Don't need to worry about that right now. But Dogecoin to $1, especially if you're buying it right here at under 6 cents. I'm just saying, I'm just telling you what I'm doing. And I bought more Dogecoin myself this morning. But also for the Kriss Pax portfolio, bought more Dogecoin. But you take all of those, not only the 4-year cycles and the markets moving up, like Bitcoin moves up, but then Dogecoin too. Thank you, Executor. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm here. Just keeping it real and having fun. Tough to have fun in a bear market, but I do. Even on a down day like today, I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic in the long term. You know who else is optimistic? CZ of Binance. He's optimistic. Bold prediction regarding the coming Bitcoin halving, because he already knows what's going to happen. Not necessarily about the price, but it could. We could have Bitcoin price hit multiple all-time highs, but he also says people have a short memory. Because what's going to happen is the halving is going to come up probably around middle of April or so, we think. Again, it depends on the blocks and how many blocks are there are in terms of the mining, because it's all based on the Bitcoin mining. So if Bitcoin maintains its sort of current level of volume, it's predicted about middle of April we would see the next halving. And what does that halving do? What it does is it cuts in half how much additional Bitcoin goes into the circulating supply. So it's deflationary. That's what that is. That means every Bitcoin is more precious. That's what that means. Typically what happens, and CC says this, leading up to the halving, there's going to be a lot of excitement. People can be talking about it. And the price is going to go up. And then the halving is going to happen. And it happens every time. It's happened 3 times before. After the halving, the price drops. Always does. And people ask why. So buy the hype, sell the news. Happens every time. So most likely, for the traders out there who are looking forward to next spring, you can almost count on that happening. Price is going to go up in March. And then when that halving happens, price is most likely going to go down. Again, no guarantees, but that's how it's happened. And then going forward, after that, as we've seen on the 4-year cycles, we saw a big run up in 2020. And then 2021, we saw 2 new all-time highs, 64K and then 69K for Bitcoin. Again, these charts are courtesy of Rob at Digital Asset News. Thank you for letting me steal that, Rob. Appreciate it. Again, no guarantee that that's what's going to happen again, but Bitcoin has this other thing happening, probably in January, maybe in March, and that is approval of Bitcoin ETFs, the spot ETFs, which could open $200 billion or more of investor money into the Bitcoin market. We're talking the BlackRocks, Vanguards, Grayscale, ARK Invest, all of that going into Bitcoin. I think a lot of that that's helping keep Bitcoin afloat now is based on that outlook. Okay. The markets are forward thinking. They react to news in the short term, but when they recover like this, I'm not selling my Bitcoin because I know what's going to happen. Those Bitcoin spot ETFs are going to be approved, and I'm already in the market ahead of those wealthy people that are waiting for their BlackRock, financial advisor to be able to sell them some Bitcoin. Because they don't want to go through the process right now of signing up for Coinbase, right? Getting on an exchange and transferring money from this bank to that exchange and doing two-factor authentication and going through all of that stuff that we do. These rich guys, they don't want to do that. They make a phone call, they'll type an email, right, to their financial advisor, and they say, buy me some Bitcoin. That's all they want to do. When that happens, that's when the hundreds of billions of dollars go into the Bitcoin market. And so people aren't selling their Bitcoin here. Yeah, there's some fear what that happens, this thought of war, right? And you see the Bitcoin price go down, right? And some of them are traders, right? There are a lot who just trade Bitcoin. And on that news, they're going to sell Bitcoin and hope to buy it in at a lower price. Scalpers, traders. So that happens. But the long-term holders, they're not selling. Just listen to George and Cryptos Are Us every morning and every night, right? He shows all the charts, how much Bitcoin is being held. They're not selling. This is trading right here is all this is. But Bitcoin didn't drop much. It's only down like 1%. With all of that bad news, Bitcoin's only down 1%. And as I showed earlier, the stock market even recovered in the afternoon. It was only red in the morning. In the afternoon, it all recovered. S&P 500 up, the Dow up, the NASDAQ up. My AMC stock is up. Tesla stock ended up still down for the day, but recovered from a really bad morning. So, yeah, the outlook is good. So for Doge, will Doge dip even further? Somebody's asking that, right? Yeah, Edgar, how are you? Do I see Doge going lower? It could. We could see further dips. Again, when bad news hits, the markets will dump, and that's because of the traders, right? The traders are going to dump high, buy again lower. So, and that's what I was waiting for. Again, I had cash on the sideline, my personal account, and I also had cash on the sideline for our Kriss Pax DC8 portfolio. And then this morning, I bought. You see those big red candles going down, you buy. Now, did I hit the absolute bottom? No. But good enough. 5.8 cents, not bad. As JS says, that discounts, right? It's discounts. Yep. So, Sergio says, don't worry, Chris, just DCA, bag up while it's this low. Stack up your Dogecoin, diamond hands. Now, we'll talk about diamond hands once we're in the bull market. And we'll talk about scalping some little bit of profits here and there. Because I'm not going to make the mistake like I did in 2021 of just holding my Dogecoin all the way through no matter what. I'm going to sell a little bit of it, take some profits. But we'll talk about that in good time. Oh, sorry, Gigwise, I didn't see you up here. Hope all is well. Yes, all is well. Hanging out, riding through the dips, and looking forward to profits in the future. Tough having a red market like we've got today. It's everything's in the red. But things will turn around. We will see that. JS says Doge $1 easy. Wish you could buy more. We could see another dip. So, I mean, it didn't recover back up over 6 cents. So that means it looks like we may be trading here in the upper fives for a little while. And there could be some further dips depending on what goes on this week. We don't know. But we'll see. We will see. Bulldozer, hey, bought this morning, continue buying while under my average. Because you're averaging down now, right? Yep. Averaging down still. Bringing that average down. I bring my average up every time I buy, but at this price, we'll see where we are a year from now, and we'll look back on this. And we'll show it on the charts, and we'll say, look, we were buying here in October 2023 at 5.8 cents. And everybody in the chat's going to be going, ooh, 5.8, I wish I would have bought there. Okay, not financial advisor. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. So we'll see. Kriss just bought some more. That is the way. That is the way. And there's others that have dropped lower. Algorand went on a nice big run last week, and then most of it just got wiped out this morning. Big hit on Algorand for those that are interested in that. SHIB back below 7 for those interested in SHIB, now at 6.9. Big drop. Anything else we want to look at? XRP. Someone sold their XRP, flipped it over to Doge down here at 49 cents. Back to Doge at 5.65 cents. So we'll see what XRP does. We have some in our portfolio. We'll see how that goes forward. Avalanche had been bleeding off since its run on Saturday. Went on a big run up over 11 bucks and just slowly has crept down since then. So tough on that. But our render's looking pretty good. Not bad. So there's some strong cryptos out there that do sort of buck the trend of other cryptos that go on big dives. So looks like Doge is making a little bit of a recovery in its price right now. So we'll see how that goes going forward. But overall, yes, we do have short term. We've got some tough news out there, which is unfortunate. Things like that do happen, though, in the world. And in the past, the crypto markets have crashed following events like that. This wasn't a crash. Again, Bitcoin only down 1%. That's showing a sign of strength in the crypto market now, is what we're seeing. People aren't mass selling. They're not panic selling. They're holding. That's pretty strong. Doge, I think there's more flipping and trading that goes on with Dogecoin And so that's why I see a little bit more of a drop in Dogecoin's price. I mean, it came all the way down to 565 on this wick down here. That's a lot. So, but all of us, we're not selling our Dogecoin. We're not selling our Dogecoin. We're waiting for the big things to happen. Yeah, JS, exactly. I don't know about the insider info, but ex-Twitter will definitely use Doge as a payment and tipping system, plus online banking. These things take time. Ex-Twitter's got a long ways to go in being able to integrate all that and get all the approvals necessary to not only use as sort of online banking across the United States, because you have to get approval in all 50 states individually. And they have like 7 or 8 states approved, but they got to go through the process in all the states. I mean, it would suck if we were like, well, we had all the states except like New York and Louisiana and Washington. Those are the ones that have higher regulatory hurdles to get through. I think Elon would probably prefer to have them all approved before rolling it out. And then who knows worldwide what other approvals may need to happen. But that's why a cryptocurrency is better than having fiat on the system. Because with cryptocurrency, you don't have to deal with exchanges, right? Exchanging this fiat currency for that fiat currency. I don't think ex-Twitter wants to deal with that worldwide. So that's why cryptocurrency makes more sense. And what's a better crypto to use than Dogecoin? Now, I know the Bitcoin maxis will say, oh, it should be Bitcoin with the Lightning Network. Maybe, but even with the Lightning Network, Dogecoin is better. Doge is better. So that's what we're waiting for, is we're waiting for not only the 4-year cycles, but these big catalysts that we see in Dogecoin's future. And there are many who are predicting Doge to go on runs, some in 24, maybe 2025. So we need patience. It's a patience. And you know who else says this, which is really interesting, because I was looking at this Yahoo Finance site, and then down here, there's this article about Charlie Munger. And Charlie Munger, he's anti-crypto and all that because he didn't believe. He's a real old guy. I'm kind of old, but he's really old, right? And he's not going to get into it, right? He's been investing in his dividend stocks for years, right? Made a lot of money, done very well. Good for Charlie. But here's what he says. This is interesting, guys. Here's what he says. The big money is not in the buying and the selling, but in the waiting. Again, the big money is not in the buying and the selling, but in the waiting. Did you have the patience to wait? I do. I've got the patience to wait for the big money. Thanks, everyone. I'll be live again Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Boston time, that's where I am, East Coast, United States. Join me again. And then Friday nights, I do late nights. For those that can't make my 5 o'clock shows, I do Friday at 10 o'clock. So join me. And I put out videos here and there when there's something interesting to talk about. I was going to do one over the weekend, and nothing was happening over the weekend. Everything happened overnight, late Sunday night into Monday morning. So we'll see tomorrow if I get a video out, but I'll be live again Wednesday, and I'll be live again Friday, and we're keeping it real. And I'm keeping it real. I'm not talking about, rocket ships and all of this stuff, right? Not right now. Patience, waiting. That's what it is. Hey, Curtis, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you. So, gang, I hope you're well. We'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.